Alright, so now that I got my guy modeled, what I'm going to do is just quickly hit this reduce selected before just a couple of times. It'll help for when you go to paint. So the rest looks fine. I'm going to hit paint. And actually, I'm going to save it first because sometimes it gets hung up on paint. And I'm going to hit paint. And I'm going to make it 1024. And I'm going to hit OK. And we're going to see how long that takes. And while that's going, I am going to pause it, I think. Let's see.
That's so much.
Well, it's going kind of fast, actually. So maybe I'll just wait and not pause it because it's actually not doing too bad of a job. Sometimes it'll like really take a long time. All right. So, almost there. And good. Now I can paint it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the general color of this. And if you look at a lot of it's kind of this like lightish brownish gray, we'll say. So something like this. Then I'll just make it a bit grayer and hit OK. And I'll make sure my strength is all the way up. And I'm going to hit F for fill. And that will fill the entirety of it, okay? And I'm looking at it, and I think it could probably be a bit more gray than that. Let's hit fill again. That's a bit better. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is basically just paint this puppy. So, this is an ugly, ugly animal, so we will do the best we can with what we got. So I'm going to keep on that, and we will go like this. And I am going to go ahead and hold, let's see, this down a little. Alright, and let's go ahead and do this. So I'm going to keep it on that. I'm going to do height mask, and we'll keep it on cavity. And then I'm going to make this bigger. And what it should do is only paint, or more likely to paint, in the darker areas, in the cavities. Okay? And this will just add a certain amount of dimension to it in general, which will be good, which is what we want. Okay, so just going to kind of paint this over the whole thing here the best that we can to get a good amount of that. Let's see, I'm going to do it here as well. Alright, good. And I'm also going to do it on these legs, and it'll just help make the details pop out that I painted earlier. Alright, so that's the idea anyway. So we'll just kind of color in here. Alright, and that gives it a bit of variation. I'm also going to go ahead and go lighter, like this. And I'm going to turn off the cavity part. And I'm going to paint again. I'm going to make this a bit weaker though. And I'm just going to kind of paint over it a little bit here. And this will kind of do the opposite. This will paint only in the bright spots. Alright, and the idea is just to basically balance it out. So now if you look, I got a nice kind of patina on the entire thing. And now I'm going to go ahead and basically try to add some more variation. So I'm looking at this, and this has got a little more of a fleshy color to it. So I'm going to take this, and we'll go like that, a little more red. Okay, I'm going to make sure my strength, and I'll take my hardness and keep that soft. And I'm just going to kind of lightly brush that color on there. Maybe on the toes as well. Alright, so just a little bit to kind of spunk it up a little. I'm going to do a little bit here as well. And then on his face, I'm going to just put some in there. Alright, so looks okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and add more of a lightness here, like a manual one. Let's bring this back a touch. Okay. And I'm just going to manually paint some things here, so I'm going to make this a bit smaller. And take my strength up a touch. Alright, so just hand painting some of these little minor details here. Alright. So that's good. We'll put this on his beak as well. Alright, a little more distinct on his beak. Okay. It's a little bit better. I'm going to go ahead and make his eye as black as Mordor here, because, again, he is evil, and it should be known. Alright, we'll make this a little bit smaller, and I'm just going to kind of paint around some of these crevices and things. Okay. Let's see. Alright, and make this a little bit bigger for in here. And we'll just kind of paint a little bit of this darkness. It's a little bit bigger, and I'm just going to kind of roughly darken the bottom of this. Alright, so that we have, oops, that one. Alright, that looks a little bit better. It's coming along. So it was really dark right here, so I'm going to take this down a whole bunch. And we're going to kind of paint this in here. To kind of get that vibe, because obviously it's sort of what it looks like. And underneath here, I'm going to take my hardness up a touch, make this a bit smaller. I'm just going to kind of use this in a sense to kind of add some detail to these wings here. Oh, I still have height mask on. That explains a bit. Okay. So Alright. Alright, so it turned out pretty terrible. Okay. But I think we get kind of the idea there. Go up here and add a little bit of that pattern. That's kind of a brownish color. Alright, a little bit darker. Okay. On here, so there's a bit of a pattern. Let's make it a little bit bigger here. And something like that. Alright. It's also around his eyes here. Just gonna put a little brown inside of his mouth, a little bit in his nose here. Alright, it's truly the face of evil. Put a little in here too, why not? Okay. I'm gonna add some more darkness inside of this, just to break it up. Alright. Alright, and I'm going to put some more lightness back in this. Okay. Alright. And not a very colorful bird, kind of like a turd monster here. Alright, so we're going to call that good as far as that's concerned. So I'm just going to go ahead and save this again. And I'm just going to go ahead and save the texture map. And I'm just going to call it Rhea. So Rhea, because that's what it is. And I'm also going to export out an OBJ by hitting that button. I'm also going to call this Rhea. Okay. And that is good. So the next thing we're going to do is basically just re-topologize this, and then we will be good. And then we just got to combine the things on.